presenting about the ingredients that we use to produce our polyester t-shirt. So the first one is polyester fabric, second one is polyester thread, and the last one is label. This is the process to produce our t-shirt. So the first one is planning and designing. So we sketch the t-shirt with design with details such as size chart, neckline, sleeve length and fit. So the second one is assembly, which is we stitch together the cut fabric pieces and form a complete t-shirt using polyester thread. The third one is label installation. So we sew in brand and size labels at the neckline of the t-shirt. The fourth one is finishing. We trim the excess thread, steam or press t-shirt for a clean look. The last one is for quality check and packaging. So we inspect for defects, then steam or press t-shirt for a lid into plastic packaging.
And it's Hasil Zaini, and today I will explain to you guys about our prime cost of 150 units that we produce. For direct material, we have polyester fabric, polyester thread, and label. So for polyester fabric, after we calculate, we get RM 3600, and for polyester thread, after we calculate, we get RM 84, and for the last is label, after we calculate, we get RM 60. Direct labor seamstress RM 6.38 ringgit. After we calculate, we get RM 957. For ironing and finishing staff, RM 1.76 ringgit. And after we calculate, we get RM 264. Next, indirect labor for supervisor RM 5 ringgit. And after we calculate, we get RM 750 ringgit. For factory manager, RM 8 ringgit. So after we calculate, we get RM 1200 ringgit. Then for indirect expenses, utilities RM 1.60 ringgit. So after we calculate, we get RM 240 ringgit. And for packaging, RM 50 cents. And after we calculate, we get RM 60 ringgit. For administrative office utilities, RM 1 ringgit and 10 cents. So after we calculate, we get RM 165 ringgit. For selling and distribution, for delivery, RM 80 cents. So after we calculate, we get RM 120 ringgit. Lastly, for total production output, overhead per unit. Basis use equals to total overhead divided by total production output. So after we calculate, we get RM 50 ringgit.
Next is the job cost statement. Our customer is Everywhere Enterprise and the order is 50 polyester t-shirt. The date we commence this statement is on the 1st of July 2025 and the promised delivery date is on the 5th of July 2025. The price quoted for this statement is 2,500 ringgit. First of all, our direct materials are polyester fabric, which is 24 ringgit per unit. And then we have polyester thread, which is 56 cents per unit. And lastly is label, which is 40 cents per unit. Next, our direct labor is seamstress and also ironing and finishing staff. For the seamstress, the wages is 6 ringgit 38 cents per unit, while for the ironing and finishing staff, it is 1 ringgit 76 cents per unit. Next is the overhead, which is utilities, packaging, supervisor, and factory manager. For utilities, it is 1 ringgit 60 cents per unit. For packaging, it is 40 cents per unit. For supervisor, it is 5 ringgit per unit, and factory manager is 8 ringgit per unit. Lastly is our other charges, which is delivery and office utilities. For delivery, it is 80 cents per unit, and office utilities is 1 ringgit 10 cents per unit. To summarize, our direct materials are 24 ringgit 90 cents per unit. Our direct labor is 8 ringgit 40 cents per unit. Our overhead is 15 ringgit per unit. Our other charges is 1 ringgit 90 cents per unit, which total to 50 ringgit per unit. Our selling price is 60 ringgit per unit, and our projected profit is 10 ringgit per unit.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Shami Asif and today I will explain about selling price estimation. How we gain 500 profit. Total cost per unit is 50 ringgit and the profit is 20% of the cost. So the selling price is cost plus profit. The cost, which is 50 ringgit plus 20% of cost, made it being 120% of cost, equals to 60 ringgit. So the profit is 60 ringgit minus 50 ringgit equals to 10 ringgit per unit sold. Next, how to get 500 of profit. First, 50 shirts need to be sold and the total cost of 50 shirts is 50 ringgit times 50 units equals to 2,500. The selling price per unit is 60 ringgit and the total selling price is 60 ringgit times 50 units of shirt. It equals to 3,000. the total profit is equals to total selling price minus the total cost, which is 3,000 minus 2,500.
My name is Yusuf. So for technique use, we are using method of markup. From this method, we calculate 20% based on cost. Profit per unit we earn RM 10 ringgit, and total unit that need to be sold are 50 units. So we use that method to determine our selling price by adding 20% of cost to our total cost. We choose this method because it is easy to calculate and also easy to understand the calculation. So this method will ensure that profit was included in our selling price. So let's get to classification of direct cost and indirect cost. Our direct costs are polyester fabric, polyester thread, label, seamstress, and finishing staff. Then for our indirect costs are factory manager, utilities, packaging, office utilities, and delivery. So that's all from us. Thank you.